Hello, how are you today? Okay, in this video we're going to talk about what to pack when moving abroad. This idea came to me because recently we just went with my husband for a short trip, 3 days. We took 3 days off and we packed very lightly, just with a trolley. Now we are very confident after 25 years of moving to different countries. We're very confident when it comes to packing. So he wanted to play golf one of these 3 days, and he sent the golf clubs by courier, and then we just took our trolley, jumped on a train, and went to Osaka, to another city. So what do you pack when moving abroad? Right? Hi, I am Susana and I am your coach. I created Abroad with Susana because I want to support international women living abroad to feel engaged and motivated, even to fulfill themselves while living abroad and be successful in whatever they put their mind on. Okay, so what to pack when moving abroad? I'm going to give you three, let's say, aspects you should consider even before you start packing. The first tip or aspect you should consider is how long are you going to move abroad? For how long? Because that will depend a lot on what you pack. If it's just for 6 months or so, maybe you don't need to pack much of your furniture or just your belongings, right? So maybe then you will pack just a couple of suitcases. And then you probably will rent a short-term accommodation, or even an Airbnb, right? But if you're going to stay for longer than that, let's say from 2-3 years, sometimes an possible extension to 5, then you should consider what to pack, and especially with not only your belongings, but your furniture, your house. And this comes to, are you going to need your house back home quite often? Meaning when you move and then you visit your family and friends, are you going to need your house back there? Or maybe you have the chance to, for instance, myself, every time I visit my parents or my in-laws, I was going to their house. So I didn't need to keep my own house or apartment in either of those two places. So what about you? When you move from where you are now, your home, and you go somewhere to live, well, maybe not forever, you don't know, right? It's just this 2-3 years or maybe 5. Are you going to need your house back home or not? If not, you just rent and you take all your belongings with you, right? Because then the transition into a new place is smoother because you have your own cozy belongings with you. I remember when my kids were very young, very, very young, because, we had this nomad's life for 25 years. Every time we changed countries and we moved, the moment their bed was at home, they felt at home. I remember they were kind of a cozy little moment, and we appreciated, and we were very, very present. I hugged them and told them, it's like, how cozy is your bed? Because it was the same bed all in all those moves that we did. So that is an important aspect. So then, here it comes. The second aspect you should consider is what are the rentals in this new place. Check the properties even before you move, right? Ideally, if you can take the chance and go there before you do the whole move, it's fantastic, because then you have a sense on how big the apartments or the houses are, or how small, or if it's in urban city, you are going to live in the center, or you prefer to live in the outside neighborhoods. You have the sense and how that city works. because that's a different thing, right? For instance, for me, when I moved to from Barcelona to Japan, well, that was easy because my husband was already there. So we were living in the city center, and it was really fantastic. I loved that. But when we moved to Brussels, I was looking for the city center as well. But actually, in Brussels, with a family that we have at that time, we already have a baby. Most of the people live around in the little villages around Brussels center. So you have more chance of have a big house with a garden and so. So my idea had to, shift. So check that as well for you. How different is from where you are and how usually people live in that city that you're going to move. And the third aspect, and this is really important, and it's linked to the second one, right? So depending on what you're moving, so if for instance you're moving from a big house, but in this city usually people live in apartments, then you really need to sort things out. You cannot pack, well, maybe you could. I don't know how good you are at packing, but you probably won't need as many as your furniture that you have into this new place, right? Because of course you need your essentials. Make a list with your essentials. It's like, of course, your bedroom, your living area, but maybe you have, like a second living, more, let's formal. Maybe that doesn't fit into your new place. And here comes the bonus tips. Never, ever assume that in the new place it's going to be the same as in your place. Check before you go. Here is what happened to me. In Germany, at least 20 years ago, not 20 years ago, I started this nomad's life 25 years ago, but 20 years ago, when I moved to Germany from Belgium. I was in Belgium with a big house, and we moved to Germany. And the funny thing, at least 20 years ago, is that we went to Frankfurt, and in that time we were checking apartments in kind of a city center. And funny enough, in Germany there was no kitchen, like literally. I mean, there was the room, but no appliances, no cupboards, nothing. Only the connections to connect the water and the sewer, but that was it. So you had to buy the whole kitchen if you wanted even to rent, and that was quite shocking. Luckily, we were very, very well lucky because we found a very new property that the lady just bought it in order to rent to expats. So the kitchen was there. But I met so many other friends that they didn't have the full kitchen. I believe now it has changed, but this is an example that you cannot assume. You need to check everything before you move to the new country. Another tip, measure. Because the sizes are completely different. For instance, in Japan, the ceiling, the height of the ceiling is really low compared to Europe or compared to the States, for instance. Especially if you're coming from Europe in these old-fashioned houses or apartments in the city center, the ceilings are very, very high. In Japan, you almost can jump and you can touch the ceiling. So if you have furniture that you believe is a standard, of course it's standard for your own, for your home country, but not, for instance, for Japan. So then the furniture don't fit. It doesn't fit, and it's because of the height. So that is another tip to check about. Another very useful tip is like when you move to a new country, you can check already the Facebook groups that exist for the expats in that country. Because in those Facebook groups, or even as well in the international school, if you have kids and you're going to enroll them in an international school, There are groups that they can they sell a lot of secondhand stuff. And that is fantastic opportunity, because you can find from, you know, any kind of furniture to, I don't know, a bicycle for your kids or anything. Anything is this secondhand marketplace, which is a fantastic opportunity. So maybe you don't need to take all your things, just, you know, the cozy ones, the ones that are really important to you, and then buy a secondhand in the new country. Okay, that's it for today. I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you like, please give it a thumbs up, even to subscribe to my channel. And I'll give you more tips next week.